Today I want to talk a little bit about a trend that really draws from previous decades, and we're seeing the implications happen now. And that is changes in global healthcare, in education, and in life expectancies. And as we look at these dynamics, what we've seen is over the past several decades, a huge amount of the world population has been brought out of poverty, has been pulled from the edge of constant health crises. In doing so, we've brought some tremendous benefits to society. But it also creates new dynamics, particularly for countries that are still seeing these growing populations or countries that are moving out of economic backwardness and into the modern era. There is a greater amount of expectation that's being raised by populations around the world as they have greater information, but also better life standards. We're seeing an increase in consumption all over the place, and in consumption of commodities that weren't normally the consumptive commodities in certain key areas. So huge increase, for example, in land-based meat protein, in animal protein, and changing trade patterns and development patterns in those types of agriculture. As we look at these changing dynamics in health, in education, in awareness, we expect to see in certain places increased stresses for governments being able to manage that balance between expectations and available opportunity. That can create crises all over the world. I think if you think back to 1989 in China, that was an example of rising expectations with the inability of the government to be able to provide opportunity. The other thing that we want to be watching as we're looking at these changes in healthcare dynamics is, again, in these patterns of consumption, as we look at countries looking to be able to supply opportunity and looking to be able to supply products that they're not necessarily going to have within their local geographies.